Hey y'all, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of recipes that we have used before in our house and we love them. This first one is a copycat Alice Springs chicken from Outback. And I've been making this for several years in our house, and everybody loves it. When we would go out to Outback, Neil and I, when we dated and all through our marriage, anytime we would go, I would never get steak. I would always get the Alice Springs chicken. And so it was always one of my favorite, one of his too. So I've been making it at home. It's one of those kind of recipes that's great for like if company's coming over, because you can kind of do these steps ahead and have a big pan of it ready to go in the oven and just warm up, melt the cheese right before they come in. And everybody's always impressed with it. So that's a good option when people are coming over. So the first thing I do is start by making the honey mustard dressing / dipping sauce that you're going to use. So the link to the copycat recipe I use will be down below in the description box. But I am mixing up mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, and honey here. And it will be used to spread over the chicken as it bakes, as well as a side of dipping. So then after I get that mixed up and I put it in the fridge, I get going on the chicken. I've cut them. I'm showing you how I've cut them thin. So chicken breasts can be so big. In order to get them brown on both sides and then also get them cooked through to the middle, it takes too long and the outside gets overdone. So I have a tendency to just cut them in half, and then that way people can eat, 2 pieces. I don't care if they take 2 of them on their plate, but I just know that for me cooking, it just gets it done better without overcooking. So in my pan over there, I've got some olive oil and a couple of tablespoons of butter. And then I am just seasoning with the poultry seasoning. That is like salt and peppers, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder is what's in that one. Just getting that seasoned on one side and down in the pan to start it to cooking. So now I've seasoned that other side and we're flipping it over and going to get that side cooked as well. And then once I have both sides browned up, and at this point the chicken will be cooked through, and I will just take it out of the pan and I'm putting it into a casserole dish. I've sprayed a little because we're going to be adding cheese to this, so I don't want all that to stick and get left in the pan. So I just give my casserole dish a light spraying. And then I'll get the chicken all cooked and into there. And then you get that dressing that you mixed up and you just spoon a little bit onto each piece of chicken. And then I have some bacon that we baked in the oven, which I like to do just a whole, pound of bacon on a sheet pan. And that way it cooks nice and flat. It doesn't curl up on you like it will in a frying pan. Plus you can just cook all the bacon at one time, which is nice. And so I have that on the side that I'll then top on top of the sauce and then sprinkle cheese over the whole thing. And it's going to go in the oven at like 350 degrees for like, 7 to 10 minutes tops. And you just want it to all get melted and ooey gooey together, heated through, and then it's ready to serve. So here it is straight out of the oven, and it is melted and gooey and heated through. And we just serve this alongside of some baked beans and some roasted potatoes that I just roast up in the oven with some seasonings and olive oil on them. And then we either serve it with a side of the dressing, or like here, I'm just drizzling it right on the top of the chicken. And it is so yummy. One of our favorite things. Like I said, everybody likes it. It's a little more labor intensive than some of my recipes, but it's worth it because, it's delicious. So this next one though is in the Instant Pot, and it is the opposite of labor intensive. I mean, it is just so easy to do. So this is like copycat of the Olive Garden chicken recipes that you might see out there, but I am not using the Olive Garden dressing. Same concept, but I picked a dressing that's like a fourth of the cost because I like to keep my budget per meal down. So I'm just using a pack of chicken that was almost 4 pounds. This was huge. It was about 3.45, I think, was what was on there. And then you put in there a half a cup of grated Parmesan, and then a whole bottle, 15, 16 ounce, whatever it is. It's supposed to be the Olive Garden Italian dressing, and you could use that, and it'd be great, I'm sure. But we used what was on sale, which was Wishbone, I think that was, and it was just, I think it was a creamy Italian, is the way it was listed. And so I picked that up and used that instead, and made sure my pot was set to sealing. Turned it on manual pressure for 23 minutes. And then once I do what I always do, which is let that cook and then do a natural release for about 10 minutes or so. So I went ahead and got started on my side, which was 2 cans of green beans that I had drained. And I throw it into my pot with a little bit of Italian dressing, about half a cup, probably tops, maybe a little under, for that many beans, 2 cans. And if you've never tried that before, if you're a fan of Italian seasonings and Italian dressings, then you would like these probably. My dad and I love Italian anything, and we like the green beans like this. My mom doesn't love them as much. You saw I ended up letting that natural release for like 35 minutes. So I just waited until I could get back to it, but there was certainly no pressure left in the pot. Everything was cooked through. And then all I did was just take those pieces of chicken out because they were so large and sliced them. So we would get 2 or 3 pieces, however much you wanted. We served this with some garlic mashed potatoes and those Italian green beans. And we even put the sauce over our potatoes. It was like a gravy. We loved this. Definitely going to go into the regular routine of things that we make here at our house. I've tried something similar one time before. This was my first time trying this in the Instant Pot. So it was a hit. Thanks for joining me again today. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.